think both sides agree that our focus is to try to decrease poverty. But if a lot of these measures, like like Republicans say, is actually going to be decreasing decreasing employment, then we're actually going to be hurting the poor and those who this minimum wage law is supposed to help. And if that is what a possible outcome, then how would you say we should battle this, or what alternatives do we have then to minimum wage, perhaps?
I don't know if we can. I mean, if we got rid of minimum wage right now, I think it would be chaos. People would be on the streets. I think it would be really bad. What we need to combat, education. That's a huge thing. We need people. We need to make college affordability an issue, not just for the youth. For anyone that wants to go back and learn new skills, it should be readily available to them. And sometimes it's just not, because it's just too expensive. We should also be looking at, we could keep minimum wage, but then offer tax incentives to larger companies to keep jobs here rather than sending them out to Costa Rica. I think Intel, I have a friend that just said Intel was closing one of their plants, and they're going down from like 130,000 people to 40,000 people and sending most of those jobs to Costa Rica. I mean, we need to be trying to intervene in these situations and saying, hey, we'll give you a tax credit if you stay here. I think that's positive. And we also need to remember that when we're talking about low-skilled jobs being lost, I don't buy that argument, specifically because the low-skilled jobs that would be lost, who's going to fill them other than low-skilled people? Even if the rate is up at 10-10, who's going to fill those jobs? It's still going to be the low-skilled people. They're just going to be making more money. And then they're putting more money into the system, which means not only do we have these specific jobs, more of these jobs open up, more fast food joints, more Circle K's, more grocery stores open up in neighborhoods, but then we see more of the middle class jobs open up, the management jobs start to open up, and then the high-end jobs still open up. We also need, it's not something that we can't do. I'm just saying, we're living in a time when the 1% of America has more money saved up than at any other time in our history. And it's not that we can't do it. It's whether or not the people controlling the money in this country want to give up some of their money. Right now, they don't. I don't understand why. In the 50s, when we had a 50% tax rate on millionaires, they were for it. It was about nationalism. It was about building our country, about helping other Americans move forward. Now, it seems like it's more about the money. How do we make more? If we outsource, if you fire people, if we don't provide the right type of health care, I mean, how do we save money? Well, we make more money for ourselves. That's what it seems like it's turned into, and we need to address that too.
I agree that this is a big problem, and I think that redistribution of that wealth is not going to be the way we create wealth. What creates wealth is production. And as we can see, in 2012, and to many people this could be shocking, but there was actually more people earning less than minimum wage than people earning minimum wage. Let me get this again. 1.5 million people were paid the minimum wage. That's about 1.1% of all American workers. 2 million earn less than that rate. The reason is because of the minimum wage exemptions. The way that people get these skills, the way that people get this experience is by going through the loophole of not going through the minimum wage law, becoming day laborers, becoming dog walkers, babysitters, all these jobs, interns, exactly. Where are the students going right after college? Are they going into well-paying jobs, or are they going into non-paying internships or very low-paid internships? That is the problem. We create these loopholes. We think that this law is going to fix it, but in fact, there's more people that are not being benefited by the law. Even if it increased, than there is being benefited. I think we also see a disconnect between the value of people's income. We say, yeah, it doesn't matter that these people are going to lose their job, but more people will have money, and eventually it'll go back into the economy and they'll get jobs. We can't tell that to somebody, hey, lose your job, sacrifice your needs because the country needs you. That is something that is very communistic in nature. That's something that we should never accept. If we're going to lose jobs, if the CBO that is nonpartisan is telling us there's going to be jobs loss and there's Americans that are going to suffer, why would politicians want to continue with the same policy prescription?
Because Michael and Democrats argue that these job losses will be short-term. And if they are short-term and people will be returning to jobs, within a year, then it's worth taking short-term.
Not to mention that. I mean, but we have aspects, we have programs to help people who lose their jobs, obviously, and that's under fire sometimes with unemployment and SNAP benefits. But no one's advocating for the loss of jobs. Like I said, the CBO has put out a lot of different different reports on this issue and many others. I'm sure there's some issues that they put out that you would disagree with completely. So it's hard to look at it at face value. What we need to look at is, and also I don't think it's a redistribution of wealth. We're not taking money from the wealthy. We're not taking it out of their bank accounts and then giving it to other people.
But you just said tax
No,
them, right?
no, I'm not saying. I'm saying we should be looking at if we increase the minimum wage. That's not redistribution. That's saying we're going to make sure that everyone who works in this country has their needs met. Bottom line, if as a millionaire, you should be okay with that because your needs are more than met. It's not taking money out of that's already in your possession that you've earned. It's not taking money. It's just saying if you're going to hire people, make sure you pay them enough so that they can live their lives. That's it. That's not a redistribution. So I just got to get that out of the way because I've heard a lot of socialist and Marxist comments, not by you, but a lot of people over the last year over this minimum wage debate, and we got to take that off the table. It's not the same thing, and we should be. If we're talking about taxing the wealthy, the 1%, I don't think that it's something that should be taken off the table, especially if we see maybe another recession where jobs are lost again. Whether it has to do with the minimum wage or not, the wealthy should be taking a step towards helping the nation and helping other Americans get past that. And in this last recession, we didn't see that. So,
All right, thank you.